Okay. Let's try this.
Let's give it a try. Give it a try.
Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2. What is this? All right, guys, can you hear us? Hope you can hear us now. Hope you can hear us this time. I don't know what's happening and going on with the sound.
Oh, I don't even know that it went off and came back on. I still get the 4 minutes ago one with me drinking water. Oh,
with the sound.
There we go. Oh, I don't even know that it went off. There you go.
All right, so we're on. Cheese and crackers, man.
I still get the 4 minutes stop. Ago. It's on.
No, I'm trying to.
With me drinking water.
Sure.
I'm getting ready to.
Okay.
Just
Good morning, everybody.
Don't even need to talk.
Your mic sounds right. Check 1. My mic sounds nice. Check 2.
There we go.
Are you ready?
We have been shared to the page.
Okay, that's what we need to do. All right, cool. What's up? What's up? What's up? Good morning again. Yes, we are here again. It's
like it never cut off.
Right.
Funny.
We got sound now. We have sound now. Yeah, we have sound now. That's it. Indeed.
Yeah.
All right, folks.
My hair has changed.
What?
Much nicer now. I don't go around wheeling guns.
Nope, sure don't. Got in pictures.
Hello.
What's up, y'all? Did y'all log off and log back in? Just curious. Just curious. Anyhow, we're in the book of Ezra. Sorry, if you're determined to have a productive Thursday, put a boom in the comment feed.
Put a boom in your comment feed.
Put a boom in my comment feed.
Don't let the hindrances get you off course. Don't let the adversary frustrate your progress.
Okay.
Boom it. Bow, bow, bow. Oh my gosh, all them red dots. Are you kidding me?
I ain't been on social media this morning. I don't all the links.
Boom, boom.
I ain't on nothing. She flips out about the red dots. Oh my God, yes. All those red numbers. Why did you? I'm like, I ain't been on there. So you doing other stuff.
Welcome back, Kev. I'm glad all is well.
Yes, indeed.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Who says that?
You.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
No, somebody else says that.
Cynthia Brazelton says it. And then you started saying it just recently. Hallelujah.
Did I really?
Yes, you do.
And I haven't seen her in forever.
Mm-hmm. Some people get sassy with it and they say, hallelujah. That's what I'm talking about.
'Tis not I.
All right, y'all watching? Scott, Chan, Jim, outstanding. What's up, everybody? Morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Why you try to hide it?
Hide what?
I can't even say it. All right, here we are. We're in the book of Ezra. We've arrived at chapter 6. In the book of Ezra, chapter 6. Up to this point, this starts with the decree of Darius. Now, up to this point, the children of Israel, or the exiles, have come back to Jerusalem to build the temple. And then we went and we looked in Haggai, and we saw that between chapters 4 and chapter 5 was 16 years. And then in chapter 5, verse 1 tells us that Haggai prophesied. Then we went to Haggai chapter 1, looked at those 14 verses and saw exactly what Haggai said. As a result of Haggai declaring the word of the Lord, they begin to build the temple. Well, in the course of building the temple, the licensing and inspection office, if you will, came up and asked them, "Hey, what have y'all been doing?" Exactly. They began to ask questions and inquire, "What are you guys doing? Why y'all starting to build?" Remember, because the land was in rubble, it was in ruins for 16 years, and all of a sudden, people are coming to start building on it. So the new governors and new folks in office, "Hey, what's going on? Why y'all starting to build?" And then they go down to the story and they retell the story, but they leave out the part where they didn't do what God told them to do, but they stopped building God's temple and started building their own houses and own homes and own lives instead of building the temple of God. Well, then we have the officials say, "Well, you all keep doing what you're doing. We're going to send a letter to Darius and ask Darius." Remember, the antagonizers and the counselors that they hired over in chapter 4 were doing this from all the way through Cyrus's reign and into the second year of Darius. Here we are into the second year of Darius, and they've started to rebuild. Well, now we saw the letter that they sent to Darius. Darius says, "Hey, go check the archives and find out what Cyrus the king said." Cyrus, of course, was the preceding king, and Darius was his successor. So now we pick up in chapter 6, verse 1, we pick up the decree that Darius gives. Here we go. Exodus, Jesus, I do that every time. Ezra, chapter 6, verse 1. I've been saying Exodus for a year and a half. That's why, because we've been studying Exodus. We're done Exodus. Can you believe it? Then King Darius issued a decree, and a search was made in the archives where the treasures were stored in Babylon, and at Metha, in the palace that is in the province of Media. A scroll was found, and in it a record was written thus: "In the first year of King Cyrus issued a decree concerning the house of God at Jerusalem," which shows you it's very important to keep a record of what you've done. Okay, what you've done, who did it, and when you did it as well.
And it is valuable because, and I don't know, I haven't done the study on what this is. This is where the treasures were stored. And back in chapter 5, when they were talking about to go and check it, it said they were going to where the treasures were stored. And so the whatever the king said was held where the treasures were stored. It was important, and it's important even now. To make sure when we speak things that we speak with such authority that it is kept in the hearts and the minds of the people where the treasure is stored.
Also, just in, this kind of shows us the validity of journaling. If you ever started journaling, your prayer journal, what have you, when you prayed about things, you can go back and see how God answered that prayer. You've got it written down. You got a record of it. You got a record. I remember what he did, and you can read the testimony, if you will. All right. And
keep it. Save that stuff where you save
important documents.
Yeah, where you save important documents, because that's also a legacy. When your children and your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren can go back and read your journals.
Yeah.
And see how you stood in faith. See how you wavered in your faith. And they can learn from that. We're so concerned, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing. We want to leave our children land and money and good values, but let them see that. Leave your journals where you keep all your good stuff.
Leave a record.
Wow.
Leave a record. The track record of what you did, and most importantly, the track record of what God has done in your life. And so they read this, the decree concerning the house of God at Jerusalem. "Let the house be rebuilt, the place where they offered sacrifices, and let the foundations of it be firmly laid. Its height 60 cubits and its width 60 cubits. It would be 4 square. It would be a complete square." Notice, what does the book of Revelation say? The new city of God will be built 4 square. Okay? It's telling. Remember, the tabernacle and the temple, it all points to Jesus. With 3 rows of heavy stones and 1 row of new timber. Now watch this next line in verse 4. "Let the expenses be paid from the king's treasury.
Oh my.
The king is a pagan. The king does not believe in Yahweh as God. And he says, King Cyrus says, we are going to pay for the building of God's house. That, my friend, is absolute, complete, utter favor. It's nothing but that is nothing but the favor of God, where your enemy is going to build what God has given you to do. And
it's recorded. Can't be contested. Like it's there in black and white.
Mm-hmm. So nobody can say that ain't what he said. No, that is what he said.
Here's the writing.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely
what he said.
You know, and thank you for that, Miss Angela, for your comment just now. There's some things that, and I'm gonna be intentional. This has caused me to do this. That there's some things that my mother makes, some recipes that my mother makes, and we try to do this at the church. We're still trying to do it at the church, but kind of got slowed down. Of recipes of different things that you made. And a lot of stuff we make, like I know how to make a yum yum cake because it's in my brain. But I know that a couple of the kids like it. Well, shouldn't I write that down so that later on in life they move out or whatever, they can make a yum yum cake of their own? My mother makes biscuits. No, Mama biscuits. My mother makes biscuits and I love them. And I'm gonna call her. I meant to call her 2 days ago just to say, hey, Mom, can you tell me how you make your biscuits? And I'm going to start making them so that I can have them. Now I understand I got teenagers.
So he can give to his wife and she can make his mama biscuits.
I have teenagers now, and I understand why there was always these biscuits in the house. My mother would say bread is filling. And so if you've got teenagers, you understand this, or if you had them, that they're always hungry. And my mother would say, get a biscuit. Get some bread. And, it filled us up, right?
I want to make some biscuits right now.
So the government money is going to build the temple. Now, this is not talking about, that says, and some people have even used this, but that says we're supposed to build God's house with grants. No. That's not what this is saying. If you go back to the original, back in the book of Exodus, how did they get the articles to build? By free will offering. Yeah. The people gave, okay, not the government. So this is the government. Watch this. The government tore it down. So shouldn't it be right that the government rebuild it? Nebuchadnezzar, his administration tore it down. All right. And so, okay. So let me come back to where we are. I could go a whole bunch of places with that. Also, verse 5, also let the gold and silver articles of the house of God, which Nebuchadnezzar took from the temple, which is in Jerusalem and brought to Babylon, be restored and taken back to the temple, which is in Jerusalem, each to its place, and deposit them in the house of God. Verse 6, now therefore, Tattenai, governor of the region beyond the river of Shethar Baznai. I'm messing that up every time I try it. And your companions, the Persians, who are beyond the river, keep yourselves from there. Let the work of this house of God alone. Let the governor of the Jews and the elders of the Jews build this house of God on site. So Cyrus's decree says, y'all leave them alone and let them build God's house. Remember, why is Cyrus so bent on building the house of God? Because God quickened in him to have it built. So that's why Cyrus's language is the way that it is. He said, y'all leave them alone, let them do what they're doing. So we already see there was some disobedience because individuals that came and started to discourage them. Their adversaries came to discourage them. Moreover, I issue a decree. Now, whose decree is this? This is Darius's decree. Moreover, I issue a decree as to what you shall do for the elders of the Jews for the building of this house of God. Let the cost be paid at the king's expense from taxes on the region beyond the river. The enemies around Jerusalem are going to pay for the temple in Jerusalem. Come on, Jesus. Do it. that this is to be given immediately to these men so that they are not hindered. In other words, don't be holding up the money, trying to vote on it and trying to argue about it and all that. And whatever you need, young bulls, rams, and lambs for the burnt offerings of the God of heaven, wheat, salt, wine, and oil, according to the request of the priests who are in Jerusalem, let it be given to them day by day without fail. Whatever I need, I just go tell them, hey, I need so and so and so, and all you do is go get it. Period. That's it. You don't ask me nothing. I'm the Levite. I'm working on the temple. Bring me what I need. That they may offer, verse 10, that they may offer sacrifices of sweet aroma to the God of heaven and pray for the life of the king and his sons. Did you catch that? What he threw in at the end? And pray for the life of the king and his sons. So I'm helping y'all. We're doing this. I need y'all to pray for me. Okay. Y'all look out for it, brother. Now watch this. So you see how, hey there, Apostle Timmons. You see how Cyrus says, leave them alone. Don't hinder them. Don't do anything that's going to cause them to slow down God's progress. Darius adds on to it. Make sure without delay that you give them everything they need, the animals, the money, whatever they need, they get it from us. They don't have to go find it. Watch this. What happened in Exodus? The children of Israel had to go find their own straw. They had to find the acacia wood. They had to find the different things. So they sowed initially and watch the harvest that they reaped. That this time they don't have to go find it. It's provided to them. Someone in reaping right there. Watch this. So Darius takes it a step further and watch what he says. And verse 11, also I issue a decree that whoever alters this edict, let a timber be pulled from his house and erected, and let him hang on it, and let his house be made a refuge heap because of this. In other words, you would be impaled on a pole if you stop the children of Israel or the exiles from rebuilding the temple. That's a little incentive to not bother. And may the God who causes his name to dwell there destroy any king or people who put their hand to alter it, to alter the edict that he's given, or to destroy the house of God, which is in Jerusalem. I, Darius, issue a decree. Let it be done diligently. So it is written, so it shall be done. Period. God made the enemy. He made the enemy the footstool of the exiles. Didn't you read that somewhere? Somewhere about your enemies becoming your footstool.
I read that I think it was my Bible.
I think that's in the Bible.
It's in the Bible.
It's in the Bible. Would you believe it? That's in the Bible. He'll make your enemies your footstool. They are building them up.
And pay for their own supplies.
Pay for their supplies. They are buying the supplies and then they're giving them to the exiles. That is God's favor on your life. When God tells you to do something, God is going to provide everything you need to do it. Even if it comes from a person, that's not on your side, if you will, or that's not with you, God will do it. If that's what he wants you to do, he will supply everything you need.
That's why you can't be too, what's the word? Too,
oh no.
Picky. That wasn't the word.
Selective,
yes. When God is ready to do a thing, don't put your limitations on God. Don't put your limitations on God. Mm-hmm. Just let him do what he gonna do, how he gonna do it.
And when God does it, it's not going to look like we would have did it.
Absolutely not.
It's not supposed to. His ways, I'm going to use this passage. Here's the principle. His ways are higher than our ways. His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. So the way God does things is not going to be the way that we do things. So we got to stop humanizing or diminishing the deity of God and saying, he's so-and-so, he like me. No, God is not like man.
He is not like man.
All right. He's bigger than us. He's better than us. Deacon Chandler put a comment up. He prepares a table before you in the presence of your enemies. Right there. Right there. He got two kings. One king stole everything. The next king, right behind Nebuchadnezzar, right behind Nebuchadnezzar. Cyrus comes and turns it all around. And then Cyrus dies. Darius comes. Darius is where he is. He's doing his thing. And they say, hey, can you tell us who's supposed to be doing this? Darius doesn't say, well, I issue this decree. So and so and so and so and so. Darius says, well, let's go see if what they said is true. He didn't have to listen to them. He didn't have to get any information from them. He could have just said, well, nah, they ain't doing that. I'm using that I'm building a temple, a palace in Jerusalem. I'm going to use that land myself. That's a good piece of land. I'm going to use that myself. But Darius says, nah, go search the archives and find
keep working while we go confirm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Woo! Praise the Lord. All right. We're gone jet. Thanks for being with us today for the Midday Motivation at 11 a.m., which we're here Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be back tomorrow at 11 and tomorrow at 5 p.m. for Fellowship Fun Fridays at 5 with the Freemans. We'll have a little fun, give away some prizes, have a little fun. Remember, on the 1st of August, which is the first Saturday from 10 to 12, we'll be at church giving out communion, Sunday school material, Christian education stuff, some candy and other things. Just something. Drive on through. Don't get out your car. You can if you want to on the side, but you get your stuff in your car and we'll hand it out. And on first Sunday, which is August 2nd, you will be ready for virtual communion. Communion will be virtual, not at the church. Communion will be virtual. So you pick it up on Saturday the 1st, and then we'll do it together virtually on the 2nd. Okay? All right. What you got? Sunday?
Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting that. Mm-hmm. Sunday is Ignite and Engage Sunday. So youth and young adults, go ahead and get ready. Sunday afternoon or morning, whatever. Snap your selfies and just post it on the church's page. Or at least can you tag a page? Go ahead and take your selfie, post it on the church's page so we can see that you are representing the Mount. It is Ignite and Engage Sunday. And parents, if you would, we're going to put up this information. No, there'll be a blast that comes out. Or you can put my email address up real quick. Parents, grandparents, cousins, aunties, uncles. We normally celebrate our kids every 4th Sunday, but of course we've been out of the loop since March. If you would go ahead and send your child's end of school year accomplishments, email them to me, text them to me. I need their name, what grade they are going into, and just give me some bullet celebratory points for your child. Send that to me. We're going to honor our kids. If you have a graduate, high school, college graduate, adults, that's you too, go ahead and send that information also. And if you're being promoted from the 8th to the 9th grade, go ahead and put that in there also. We're going to celebrate our kids in the very near future. So that's what I need from you. Thank you.
All right. Cool. Her email's on the screen. Make sure you utilize it.
And you'll get a blast.
Shoot us some information. All right, guys. That's it. Thank y'all for being with us. Remember, we love you.
And you can't do a thing about it.